So, hello guys, we all know that time management is the key to success, right? So, I will cover chapter 10 of Shankar IAS today, and I am starting from 8:04 p.m. and let's see how much it will take to complete this chapter. ओके एक बार अगर आप जान जाओ कि एक चैप्टर कंप्लीट करने में कितना टाइम लग रहा है देन इट विल बी इजी फॉर यू टू कंप्लीट द चैप्टर अकॉर्डिंग टू योर टाइम. लेट्स स्टार्ट. Chapter 10, Indian Biodiversity Diverse Landscape. Okay, so India is recognized as one of the mega diverse countries, rich in biodiversity associated traditional knowledge. With just 2.4% of land area. India का land area कितना है? 2.4%. India accounts for nearly 7% of recorded species, even while supporting almost 18% of human population. Okay, with just 2.4% of land area, India accounts 7% of recorded species, even while supporting almost 18% of human population. In terms of species richness, India ranks 7th in mammals and 9th in birds and 5th in reptiles. Okay, species richness के term में India 7th rank in mammals, 9th in birds and 5th in reptiles. Okay, the varied edaphic means soil related something. So the varied edaphic, climatic and topographic condition have resulted in a wide range of ecosystem and habitats such as forest, grassland, wetlands, coastal and marine ecosystem and deserts in India with greater biodiversity. Okay, so varied edaphic, climatic and topographic condition, soil, climate and topography condition have resulted in a wide range of ecosystem and habitat such as forest, grassland, wetlands, coastal and marine ecosystem and deserts in India with greater biodiversity. Okay, now India represents 2 realms, 5 biomes, 10 biogeographic zone and 25 biogeographic provinces. So India represents 2 realms, 5 biomes, 10 biogeographic zones and 25 biogeographic provinces. So realms. Biogeographic realms are large spatial regions within which ecosystems share a broadly similar biota. Okay, so biogeographic realm are large spatial regions. जो regions होगा that are very large within which ecosystem share a broadly similar biota. Realm is a कंटिनेंट और सब कंटिनेंट साइज एरिया, मतलब इमेजिन करो कितना ज़्यादा एरिया है, ठीक है, विथ यूनिफाइंग फीचर्स ऑफ जियोग्राफी, फौना एंड फ्लोरा. ठीक है, सो यूनिफाइड फीचर्स ऑफ जियोग्राफी लाइक फौना एंड फ्लोरा. नाउ इंडिया रीजन composed of 2 realms, like Himalayan region represented by Paleoarctic realm and the rest of subcontinent represent Malayan realm. ठीक है, so Palearctic and Malayan realm and Himalayan region represent the Palearctic and the rest of subcontinent represent the Malayan realm. Now here 8 terrestrial biological realms recognized: Nearctic realm, Palearctic realm, Africo-tropical realm, Indo-Malayan realm, Oceania realm, Australian, Antarctica and Neotropical realm. Okay, these are 8 terrestrial biogeographic realms. Okay, so here you can see Nearctic first, second is Palearctic, third is Africo-tropical realm, fourth Indo-Malayan realm, fifth Oceania realm, sixth Australian, 7th Antarctica and 8th is Neotropical realm. Okay, so here biomes of India. Next topic is biomes of India. So the term biome means the main groups of plant and animals living in areas of certain climatic patterns. It includes the way in which animal, vegetation and soil interact together. The plants and animals living in the area are adapted to that environment. The 5 biomes of India are. So biomes, the term biome means the main group of plants and animals living in areas of certain climate patterns. Okay, So certain climate pattern में जो main group of plant and animal living in areas that are biomes. It includes the way in which animals, vegetation and soil interact together. The plant and animals living in area are adapted to that environment. The 5 biomes of India are: first is tropical humid forest, second tropical dry deciduous forest including monsoon forest, third is warm desert and semi deserts, fourth coniferous forest, and fifth alpine meadows. Okay, so there are 5 biomes in India. First is tropical humid forest, याद रहेगा tropical humid forest. Second tropical dry deciduous forest including monsoon forest. Third is warm desert and semi deserts. Fourth is coniferous forest, and fifth is alpine meadows. Okay, now biogeographic zone. So here you can see the trans Himalaya in black. Okay, then is Himalaya, then Rajasthan में three, that is desert, right, and 4 is semi arid. Okay, and fifth is Western Ghat region, sixth is Deccan plateau, and seventh is the Gangetic plain. Okay, now 8th is the coast, here you can see the coast. Okay, 9th is northeast, and 10th is the island. ठीक है, that are the biogeographic zone. Biogeography deals with geographical distribution of plants and animals. Okay, so biogeography deals with geographical distribution of plants and animals. There are 10 biogeographic zones which are distinguished clearly in India. They are as follows. So first is Trans Himalayas, an extension of Tibetan plateau harboring a high altitude cold desert in Ladakh and Lahul Spiti, that is Himachal Pradesh, comprising 5.7% of country's landmass. Okay, so here the 10 biogeographic zone which are distinguished clearly in India. First is Trans Himalayas. So Trans Himalaya, an extension of Tibetan plateau. We all know Trans Himalayan is the extension of Tibetan plateau, hovering high altitude cold desert in Ladakh and Lahul Spiti. Lahul Spiti is in Himachal Pradesh, right? Comprising 5.7% of country's landmass. Okay, next is Himalayas. So the entire mountain chain running from northwestern to northeastern India. Okay, Himalayas is the entire mountain chain running from the northwestern, imagine the India's map, northwestern से northeastern तक, right? हिमालय का उतना रेंज है, comprising diverse range of biotic provinces and biomes, that is 7.2% of country's landmass. ठीक है, 7.2%. ट्रांस हिमालय में कितना परसेंट था? 5.7% of country's landmass. Now desert. So desert, the extremely arid areas west of the Aravalli hill range, comprising both the salty desert of Gujarat and sand desert of Rajasthan, 6.9% of country's landmass. So इन तीनों में like ट्रांस हिमालय, हिमालयन डेजर्ट में सबसे ज़्यादा परसेंटेज है हिमालयस का, देन है डिजर्ट का, देन ट्रांस हिमालय का, राइट. सो अगेन डिजर्ट कहाँ से कहाँ तक है? डिजर्ट द एक्सट्रीमली एरिड एरिया वेस्ट ऑफ अरावली हिल रेंज, comprising both the salty desert of Gujarat and sand desert of Rajasthan, 6.9% of country's landmass. ठीक है. Now semi arid. So the zone between the desert and the Deccan plateau and desert के बीच में जो zone है, that is the semi arid zone. Okay, so here you can see that desert number 3 and the number 6, that is the Deccan plateau. उसके अंदर जो zone है fourth, number 4 is the semi arid zone, right? So semi arid, the zone between the desert and Deccan plateau, including the Aravalli hill range, 15.6% of country's landmass. Western Ghat. So the hill ranges and plains running along the western coastline south of the Tapti river, covering an extremely diverse range of biotic province and biomes, 5.8% of country's landmass. Now Deccan Plateau. So Deccan Peninsula. So the largest of the zones, covering much of the southern and south central plateau with a predominantly deciduous vegetation, that is 4.3% of country's landmass. Now Gangetic Plain. So defined by Ganga river system, these plains are relatively homogeneous, 11% of the country's landmass. So 7th, the percentage is highest in Gangetic plain, right? Now Northeast India. Northeast India, the plain and non-Himalayan hill range of northeastern India and a wide variation of vegetation, 5.2% of the country's landmass. Now the island. Island consists of only 0.03% of country's landmass, and island of Andaman and Nicobar Island in Bay of Bengal with a highly diverse set of biomes. Now coast. A large coastline distribution both to the west and the east, with distinct differences between the two. Lakshadweep Island are included in these, with the percent area being negligible. Okay, now biogeography is divided into two branches. First is phytogeography, second is zoogeography. Okay, so phytogeography or plant geography deals with origin, distribution and environmental interrelationship of plants. Phyto means plant, plant means the with origin, distribution and environmental interrelationship of plants. Now zoogeography, as the name suggests, zoo means animals, right? So with migration and distribution of the animals. Okay, biogeography. Now biogeographic provinces. Biogeographic provinces is a ecosystem or biotic subdivision of realm. India divided into 25 biogeographic zone. Okay, biogeographic classification of India was done by Roger and Panvar in 1988. So biogeographic classification जो है, that was done by Roger and Panvar in 1988, describing 10 biogeographic zones in India. Further divided 25 biogeographic provinces. Okay, so describing 10 biogeographic zones and 25 biogeographic provinces. The classification was done using various factors such as altitude, moisture, topography, rainfall, etc. Biogeographic zones were used as a basis for planning wildlife protected areas in India. Okay, now biogeographic zones and biogeographic provinces in India. Here you can see that biogeographic zones and biogeographic province. So biogeographic zones कितना है 10 है and biogeographic provinces are 25. First biogeographic zones is Trans Himalaya and biogeographic provinces is Himalaya, that is Ladakh mountain, first Himalaya, Tibetan plateau, Trans Himalaya and Trans Himalaya of Sikkim. ठीक है, so Himalaya, Ladakh mountain, Himalaya, Tibetan plateau, Trans, that is Himalaya in Sikkim. Okay, next is the Himalaya. So first is Trans Himalaya, right? Trans Himalaya में 3 Trans Himalaya है, Himalaya in Ladakh mountain, Himalaya in Tibetan plateau and Trans Himalaya of Sikkim. Okay, now the Himalaya. So Himalaya in northwest Himalaya, Himalaya in west Himalaya and Himalaya central Himalaya, Himalaya east Himalaya. Okay, so Himalaya में क्या है? Northwest Himalaya, west Himalaya, central Himalaya and east Himalaya. Northwest, imagine northwest, west, central and east Himalaya. Okay, now Indian desert, desert third or desert Kutch, right? So desert third is located at Rajasthan and desert Kutch in Gujarat. Now the semi-arid. So semi-arid Punjab plains and semi-arid Gujarat Rajputana. Okay, now the Western Ghat, Malabar plains, Western Ghats mountain. Okay, Malabar plains and Western Ghats mountain. Now the Deccan Peninsula. So here Deccan Peninsula, Central Highland, Chota Nagpur, Eastern Highland, Central Plateau and Deccan South. Okay, so here number 6. Here is number 7, that is the Gangetic plain. Gangetic plain, upper Gangetic plain and Gangetic plain, lower Gangetic plain. The coast is west coast, east coast, Lakshadweep. Okay, so west coast, east coast and Lakshadweep. Northeastern India में क्या क्या होगा? Northeast Brahmaputra Valley and Northeast Hill. Now island में होगा Andaman and island में होगा Nicobars. Okay, these are the zones and these are the provinces. Very simple. Okay, you can watch the video twice or I can also discuss it, but I have the challenge to complete, right? So I am just moving forward. Fauna. Fauna is animal kingdom. Animal kingdom is classified as vertebrates and invertebrates. Okay, vertebrates में क्या है? Fish, amphibian, reptiles, birds and mammals. Invertebrate में क्या है? Annelids, mollusk, arthropod, arachnids, echinoderms and protozoa. Okay, wait, okay, sorry. हाँ, तो good. Animal kingdom are of two types, like vertebrates and invertebrates. Like fish, amphibians, reptiles, birds and mammals are the vertebrates. Invertebrates, annelids, mollusks, arthropods, arachnids and echinoderms and protozoa. Okay, now here you can see the vertebrates. So vertebrates are animals with backbone and spinal columns. Okay, vertebrates are the animal with backbone है vertebrates का, right? Backbone and spinal column. Vertebrates are the most advanced organism on the earth. Although vertebrates represent only a very small percentage of animals, their size and mobility often allow them to dominate their environment. Okay, here you can see that vertebrates, that is animal with the backbone, fish, here is mammals, okay, reptiles, amphibians and birds. These are the vertebrates. Okay, now first is fishes. So we all know that fishes is cold blooded. ये तो हम क्लास 7 में ही पढ़े थे, क्लास 6-7 में. So fish cold blooded, live in water, breathe under water using the gills not lungs, we all know, and have scales and fins and lay eggs. Okay, now is amphibians. So cold blooded, live on land and water, webbed feet, breathe within lungs and gills, moist smooth skin, 4 legs, sometimes none, lay eggs. ठीक है. So here amphibians का क्या है? Amphibians also cold blooded, live on land and water both, webbed feet, breathe with lungs and gills, moist smooth skin, 4 legs and lay eggs. ठीक है. Now is here reptiles. Reptiles are cold blooded, have scales, have dry skin, usually lay eggs, ear holes instead of ears, 4 legs or no legs. स्नेक को इमेजिन कर लो, नो लेग्स. ओके, ईयर होल्स एंड इंस्टेड ऑफ ईयर्स, इसमें लिजर्ड को इमेजिन कर लो. ठीक है. नाउ एविस, warm blooded, have feather and wings, lay eggs, have 2 legs, ear holes instead of ears. Avis means birds, right? Next is mammals. Mammals are also warm blooded, have hair or fur, खुद को इमेजिन कर लो. Give birth to live young ones. Mammal mother nurse their young one with milk, breathe with lungs. Mammals lives on land, have 4 legs, but तुम्हारे पास तो 2 leg है, or 2 legs or 2 arms and ears that stick out. Okay, now is invertebrate. So invertebrates do not have backbones. Backbone नहीं रहता है invertebrate के पास. Okay, more than 90%, 98% animal species in the world are invertebrate. Invertebrate don't have an internal skeleton made of bone. Many invertebrate have a fluid-filled hydrostatic skeleton like the jellyfish or worm. Others have a hard outer shell like insects and crustaceans. Okay, now here you can see invertebrate animals without backbones: protozoa, annelids, mollusks, then echinoderms, here crustaceans, arachnids and insects. So जितना छोटा छोटा जो animals है ये तो ज़्यादा है ना, तो they are all are invertebrate. Okay, annelids. So annelids have bodies that are divided into segments. Okay, you can see here annelids, right? Annelids are the bodies that are divided into segments. They have very well developed internal organs. Found almost anywhere in the world. They don't have any limbs, earthworms, leeches, roundworms, etc. Now mollusk. So most mollusks have soft skin-like organ covered with hard outer shell, right? So here you can see the mollusk. Okay, mollusks are the have a soft skin-like organs covered with a hard outside shell. Some mollusks live on land, such as snail and slug. Other mollusks live in water, such as oyster, mussel, clam, squid and octopus. They all are the mollusk. Okay, octopus तो पानी में ही रहता है. Squid, clam, mussel, oyster, they all are live in water, and land में तो snail and slug. Snail को तो सब देखे हैं, right? Now is echinoderm. So echinoderm, here you can see echinoderms are the here jellyfish like features, like here you can see echinoderms are marine animals that live in the ocean. Most echinoderms have arms or spines that radiate from center of the body. Okay, common echinoderm include sea star, sea urchin, sand dollar and sea cucumber. Okay, sea star, sea urchin, sand dollar and sea cucumber. Now protozoa. Protozoa are simple single-celled animals. Here you can see that protozoa are the here. Okay, so protozoa are very simple and single-celled animal. Only protozoa are made up of single cell. We all know that. They are the smallest of all animals. Most protozoa are microscopic, right? So amoeba, बचपन से पढ़ते आए हैं. They do breathe, move and reproduce like multi-celled animals like amoeba, flagellates, etc. Now arthropods. So here you can see arthropods. So arthropods have limbs with joints that allow them to move. So arthropods have limbs with joints. You can see here the crustacean. They have the limb with joints, okay, that allow them to move. They also have exoskeleton, which is hard external skeleton. Arthropods include crustacean and insects, arachnids. Okay, crustacean का देखो definition. Live mostly in ocean or other waters. Crustaceans have hard external shell which protects their body, right? So they have hard shell which protects their body. Most commonly known crustaceans are crab, lobster and barnacle. Now insects. Insects have an exoskeleton that covers their entire body. Okay, insects have exoskeleton that covers their entire body. An insect consists of 3 body parts and 6 legs and an antenna, right? Like bees. Okay, 3 body parts, 6 legs and a antenna. You can imagine the mosquito also. So beetle, butterfly, moth, dragonfly, bee, wasp, praying mantis, etc. Now arachnids. So here you can see the arachnids. Okay, so arachnids, common arachnids are spiders, scorpions, ticks and mites, right? So spiders, scorpions, ticks and mites are the common arachnids. Arachnids do not have antenna. Antenna insect में है, but ये spider में कभी antenna देखे हो नहीं ना? So as spiders, scorpions and ticks and mites. Arachnids have 2 body parts and 4 pairs of legs. 8 legs होता है ना? So next is floral diversity. In terms of plant diversity, India ranks 10th in the world and 4th in the Asia. Okay, plant diversity अगर देखोगे, so India का rank है 10th in the world and 4th in Asia. India represents nearly 11% of world's known floral diversity. Okay, so 10th है India का rank plant diversity में and 4th है Asia में and 11% world known floral diversity. Here you can see the plant kingdom. Okay, very important. देखो, plant kingdom are divided into 2 parts. Cells and tissues not highly organized and cells and tissues organized into functional structures. So cells and tissues not highly organized, simple body cell like algae contains of chlorophyll. Fungi lacks chlorophyll. Bacterial lacks chlorophyll. Only algae contains chlorophyll. Baki fungi lacks chlorophyll and bacteria lacks chlorophyll. These are the cells of tissues not highly organized. Now cells and tissues organized into functional structure. No vascular tissues, vascular tissue. No vascular tissue is the bryophytes, liverworts, mosses. Okay, vascular tissue are dispersed by spores, dispersed by seeds. Dispersed by spores are the pteridophyte, fern horsetail. Okay, now dispersed by seed is seed not enclosed, seed enclosed. So seed not enclosed are gymnosperms, conifers, and seeds enclosed are angiosperms, flowering plants. Okay, now is the, you can see the important floral groups found in India are described below. So floral groups में first आता है algae. So these are the green non-differentiated plant. First characteristics is green. Second characteristics is non-differentiated, like non-differentiated into organs like root, stem and leaf. Okay, possessing chlorophyll, right? Algae contains of chlorophyll, are known as the algae. They usually grow in water or in moist situation. So water में भी होता है और moist situation में algae होता है. The fresh water algae are generally green or blue green. Okay, and marine ones are red or brown. Red algae, brown algae are the marine ones, and blue and green are the freshwater algae. Okay, these are autotrophic plants. Autotrophic plants means they are producers, as they can manufacture their own foods. Okay, now fungi. So non-green, non-differentiated plants. First, algae और fungi का difference क्या है? Non-green. Algae था green and fungi is non-green. Non-differentiated plant ये भी है. Characterized by total absence of chlorophyll. Algae में तो chlorophyll था, but fungi में green नहीं है तो chlorophyll भी नहीं है. Right? So absence of chlorophyll are known as the fungi. They grow either on dead, rotten organic matters as saprophytes or live in parasites on other living bodies which are referred to as host. So fungi can grow either on dead, rotten and organic matters as saprophytes or live as parasites on other living bodies which are referred to as host. Molds, mushrooms are the familiar example of saprophytic fungi. Okay, molds, mushroom are the familiar example of the saprophytic fungi. The maximum diversity of fungi is in the Western Ghats, followed by the Eastern Himalaya and the Western Himalaya. Okay, so maximum diversity of fungi का कहाँ है? Western Ghat में, followed by Eastern Himalaya and the Western Himalaya. Now is bacteria. So non-chlorophyllous microorganism which lead saprophytic or parasitic existence, many of them are pathogenic. Saprophytic bacteria rather beneficial. They are soil borne. Many of them are used in industries. Okay, so bacteria are non-chlorophyllous microorganism. Okay, chlorophyll नहीं रहता है bacteria में. Microorganism which lead saprophytic or parasitic existence. Many of them are the pathogenic. Okay, poisonous, pathogenic होता है bacteria. Some saprophytic bacteria are rather beneficial. Okay, some bacteria are beneficial. They are soil borne and many of them are used in industries. Okay, bacteria का तो usage बहुत है ना. So next is, here you can see the lichens. Okay, so lichen is a peculiar combination of algae and fungus. ये तो UPSC का question था, right? So lichens are the peculiar combination of algae and fungus. Algae fungus तो पहले ही हम लोग पढ़े, तो उसका combination क्या होगा? Lichen, ठीक है? The two leave deriving mutual benefit. Okay, so mutual benefit होता है. Mutualism हम लोग पढ़े थे, right? They are group of grayish green plants which grow on rocks, tree trunks, dead woods. ठीक है? So they are group of grayish green plants which grow on rocks, tree trunks and dead wood, etc. The algae manufactures food which become available to the fungus and absorbs and retains water and thus keeps algal cells moist. A example of symbiosis. So algae क्या करता है? Algae के पास chlorophyll है. So they manufactured food which becomes available to the fungus. Fungus algae से खाना लेता है. Okay, and absorbs and retains waters and thus keeps algal cells moist. And algae को moist रखता है. Moisture, water is essential for the food production, for the photosynthesis. So that fungus help करता है and algae से fungus खाना लेता है. Example of the symbiosis. ओके, सिम्बायोसिस का जब भी एग्जांपल होगा तब लाइकेन बोलेंगे, ठीक है, algae एंड फंगस का कॉम्बिनेशन. सो दे आर मोस्ट कॉमन इन वेटलैंड्स, रेयर इन रिवर्स एंड स्ट्रीम्स एंड आर नॉट फाउंड इन ग्राउंड वाटर. नाउ ब्रायोफाइट्स. So the plant body is differentiated into a small stem and simple leaves, but true roots are absent. So bryophyte में plant body जो होता है ना is differentiated into small stem. Bryophyte में plant body is differentiated into small stem, simple leaves. Okay, small stem first, second is simple leaves, but true roots are absent. Roots नहीं रहता है, true roots are absent. Okay. So bryophytes are the plant body differentiated into small stem and simple leaves, but true roots are absent. Clear? Now they usually grow in moist places. Example are liverwort and mosses. They are the second largest group of green plants in India, distributed largely in eastern Himalaya, northeastern India, western Himalaya and western Ghat. Okay, so they usually grow in moist places. Moist places में होता है, right? Like example are the liverworts, then mosses. They are second largest group of green plants in India, distributed largely in eastern Himalaya, northwestern India, western Himalaya and western Ghat. Mosses constitute the major component of Indian bryoflora, followed by liverworts and hornworts. Okay, so mosses constitute the major component of Indian bryoflora, followed by liverworts and hornworts. Okay, so these are the bryophytes. So bryophytes are plant body differentiated into small stem and simple leaves, the absent of true roots. They usually grow in moist places like liverworts, mosses. They are the second largest group of green plants in India. Second largest group of green plant in India are bryophytes, distributed largely in eastern Himalaya, northeastern India, western Himalaya and western Ghats. Clear? Mosses constitute the major component of Indian bryoflora, followed by liverworts and hornworts. Now is pteridophytes. So pteridophytes have well differentiated plant bodies. Well differentiated plant bodies and consisting of roots, stems and leaves. Moreover, the possess vascular bundles. Okay, pteridophytes have well differentiated plant bodies. Plant body में ब्रायोफाइट्स का जैसे वेल डिफरेंशिएटेड रूट एब्सेंट था, तो टेरिडोफाइट में वेल डिफरेंशिएटेड प्लांट बॉडीज कंसिस्टिंग ऑफ रूट्स, स्टेम्स एंड लीव्स. Okay, moreover they possesses vascular bundles. Most of them are terrestrial. Vascular bundles है मतलब terrestrial तो होगा ही. Most of them are terrestrial plants flourishing well in moist and shady places. Some of them are aquatic. Okay, aquatic भी है, terrestrial भी है. Most of them terrestrial plants flourishing well in moist and shady places. Some of them are aquatic. Okay, these are the pteridophytes. This group includes vascular cryptogams like club mosses, horsetails, ferns, which are universally distributed all over the world. So these group include vascular cryptogams like club mosses, horsetails and ferns, which are universally distributed all over the world. The northeastern region, including eastern Himalaya, is rich in pteridophytes diversity, followed by South India, including eastern and western Ghats, and North India, including western Himalaya. Okay, so the northeastern region, including eastern Himalaya, is rich in pteridophyte diversity, followed by South India, including eastern and western Ghats, North India, including western Himalaya. Now is gymnosperm. Okay, gymnosperm, gymnos means naked and sperm means seed. So sperma, right? Gymnosperms are the naked seeded plant. Okay, they have very simple flowers without accessories, holes and stamens, and carpels remain aggregated in cones. Okay, ovules are present on surface of the carpels, are directly pollinated by pollen grains. There is nothing like ovary, style and stigma, and naturally there is no fruit. Okay, so gymnosperm, gymnos are the naked, sperma means seed, right? So naked seeded plant, they have very simple flower without accessory holes, and stamens and carpels remain aggregated in cones. Ovules are present on the surface of the carpels and are directly pollinated by pollen grains. There is nothing like ovary, स्टाइल स्टिग्मा नेचुरली देयर इज नो फ्रूट, फ्रूट ही नहीं होता है, ठीक है, जिम्नोस्पर्म में. नाउ साइकस, पाइनस एंड नेटम आर द एग्जाम्पल. पाइन इज द लार्जेस्ट फैमिली, राइट. नेटम एंड साइकस आर मोस्टली confined to northeastern region, eastern and western Ghats, Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Okay, so pine are the largest family. Natum and cycas are mostly confined to northeastern region, northeast में है, eastern में है, and western Ghats and Andaman and Nicobar Island. Okay, now is angiosperm. So angiosperm are the closed seeded plant. Closed seeded plants are the angiosperm. Okay. Naked seeded plant are the gymnosperm and closed seeded plant are the angiosperm. ठीक है. So these are most highly developed plant which bear flowers having conspicuous accessory essential holes. Carpels have the ovary style and stigma. With the stimulus and fertilization of ovary usually develops into fruits and ovules into seeds. Thus the seeds remain within the fruits. Okay, so seed remains within the food. India has more than 7% of world's known flowering plants. Okay, so angiosperm means the closed seeded plant. They are mostly highly developed plant which bear flowers having conspicuous accessory and essential holes. Carpels have ovary, style and stigma. With stimulus fertilization and the ovary usually developed into fruit and ovules into seed. Mango, imagine कर लो mango को. Okay, so the seed remain within the fruits. Okay, India has 7% of world knowing flowering plant. Now floral endemism order, Peninsular India including western and eastern Ghats. Floral endemism order, Peninsular India including western and eastern Ghat, about 2600 species. Then eastern Himalaya, northeastern region, about 2500 species. Then northwestern Himalaya about 800 species and Andaman Nicobar about 250 species. ये चार्ट याद रखना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है फॉर प्रीलिम्स पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, राइट. फ्लोरल एंडेमिज्म ऑर्डर क्या है, फर्स्ट क्या है, पेनिनसुलर इंडिया. पेनिनसुलर इंडिया इंक्लूडिंग वेस्टर्न एंड ईस्टर्न घाट, 2600 स्पीसीज. मोस्ट स्पीसीज कहाँ पे है, पेनिनसुलर इंडिया में, वेस्टर्न एंड वेस्टर्न घाट में, वेस्टर्न एंड ईस्टर्न घाट में. देन ईस्टर्न हिमालय में है, ठीक है, एंड नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न रीजन अबाउट 2500 स्पीसीज. ओके, नॉर्थ वेस्टर्न हिमालय में क्या है, 800 स्पीसीज. देन अंडमान एंड निकोबार आइलैंड में है 250 स्पीसीज. ओके, नाउ क्रॉप जेनेटिक डाइवर्सिटी. Agriculture remains one of the dominant drivers and mainstay of economic growth in India. Okay, agriculture remains one of the dominant driver. Agriculture क्या है, dominant driver है and mainstay of economic growth in India. The large mosaic of distinct agro ecosystem characterized by variation edaphic means soil related, climatic and geographic features has contributed to diverse cropping patterns and system across the country. India stands 7th in the world in terms of contribution of species to agriculture and animal husbandry. The National Gene Bank at National Bureau of Plant Genetic Resources, Delhi, National Gene Bank कहाँ located है, Delhi में, at National Bureau of Plant Genetic Resources, is primarily responsible for conservation of unique accession on long-term basis as base collection for posterity, predominantly in forms of seed. Now livestock genetic diversity. India has vast resources of livestock and poultry. Livestock and genetic diversity, sorry. So India has vast resources of livestock and poultry which play a vital role in rural livelihood security. In terms of population, India ranks first in buffaloes, second in cattle and goats, third in sheep and fourth in ducks and fifth in chicken and sixth in camel in the world. Okay, so population के हिसाब से India ranks first in buffaloes, second in cattle and goats, third in sheep, fourth ducks, fifth chicken and sixth camels in the world. Now here the genetic resources of farm animals in India are represented by broad spectrum of native breeds of cattle, buffaloes, goats, sheep, swine, equines, camels and poultry. Okay, जो genetic resources है of farm animal of India are represented by broad spectrum of native breeds of cattle, buffaloes, goats, sheep and swine, equines, camel, poultry. Over the years, animal husbandry has intensified in India with widespread introduction of exotic breeds. Okay, so over the years, animal husbandry जो है ना has intensified in India with widespread introduction of exotic breeds. This has led to reduction in total genetic variability and population size of many local breeds. The majority, that is 85% of domestic livestock in India, is reared under low input production system. You can see the wildlife of India, Himalayan mountain system. The West Himalayas have low rainfall, heavy snowfall. West Himalaya में क्या होता है? Rainfall is low but snowfall is high. Temperate condition रहता है, right? Whereas in East Himalaya there is heavy rainfall. Meghalaya चिरापुंजी की याद कर लो. So here is heavy rainfall and snowfall only at very high altitudes, where at the lower altitudes condition are similar to tropical rainforest. Flora and fauna of both Himalayas differ. Now Himalayan foothills. So flora, natural monsoon evergreen and semi-evergreen forest. Dominant species are sal, silk cotton trees, giant bamboos, tall grassy meadows with savanna in Tarai. Okay, so Himalayan foothills have natural monsoon evergreen and semi-evergreen forest. Dominant species are sal, silk cotton trees, giant bamboos, tall grassy meadows with savannas in Terai. Now Western Himalayas, high altitude region, natural monsoon evergreen and semi-evergreen forest. Okay, same as the Himalayan foothills. So here also natural monsoon evergreen and semi-evergreen forest. Okay, then rhododendron, dwarf hill, bamboo and birch for forest mixed with alpine pastures. Okay, Eastern Himalaya. Eastern Himalaya में क्या है? Oak, magnolias, laurels, birches covered with moss and ferns. Coniferous forest of pine, fir, yew and junipers with undergrowth of scrubby rhododendron, dwarf bamboo, lichen, mosses, orchids. Other epiphytes dominant due to high humidity and high rainfall. Imagine the Sikkim state, right? Sikkim or Darjeeling. So there are pine, fir, yew, oak, magnolias, laurels, birches like tree, right? Mosses and ferns are present there. Now, now is the peninsular Indian subregion. So it has two zones. Two zone क्या क्या है? First is peninsular India and its extension into drainage basin of Gangetic river system. So peninsular India. Okay, here peninsular India and its extension into drainage basin of Gangetic river system, desert region of Rajasthan, the third Indian desert region. Okay, peninsular India, it is the home of tropical moist deciduous and tropical dry deciduous and scrub vegetation depending upon the variation in rainfall and humidity. Okay, so peninsular India is the home to tropical moist deciduous, to tropical dry deciduous and scrub vegetation depending upon the variation in rainfall and humidity. Okay, here peninsular India में कौन सा फ्लोरा है? साल in north and east extension, higher rainfall जहाँ पे होता है. Teak in southern plateau are dominant trees. West Ghats have evergreen vegetation, flora and fauna similar to evergreen rainforest, and northeastern India. In dry areas of Rajasthan and Aravalli hills, trees are scattered and thorny scrubs species predominate. The forest give way to more open savanna habit. Okay, now Indian desert. So the desert of Rajasthan has unique flora and fauna. Thorny trees with reduced leaves, cacti, other succulent are main plants. Okay, now tropical rainforest. So distributed in the areas of Western Ghats and northeastern India, right? Flora are extensive grasslands interspread with densely forested gorges of evergreen vegetation known as the sholas, occur in the Nilgiris, an offshoot of Western Ghats. Okay, so extensive grasslands interspread with densely forested gorges of evergreen vegetation known as sholas occur in Nilgiris. Sholas also occur in Annamalai and Palani hills. Okay, the rainforest of the western Ghats have dense and lofty trees with much species diversity. Mosses, ferns, epiphytes, orchids, lianas, vines, herbs, shrubs make diverse habitat. Ebony trees predominate in these forests. A variety of tropical orchids are found. Stratification in rainforest is very distinct. 3 horizontal layers are distinguished. Now, Andaman and Nicobar Island flora are home for tropical rainforest, giant Dipterocarpus, Terminalia, Langerstromania are dominant. Mangroves are also distributed in coastal areas. So here on mangrove swamps of Sundarban are delta of Ganga where Brahmaputra and Gangas join, right? So drain into Bay of Bengal. So flora, the lower tidal zones are pioneer trees like Sonneteria and Avicennia. Lower tidal zone में कौन सा है? Sonneteria and Avicennia. Above this lower tidal zone, there are Rhizophora, Bruguiera and Exicaria shrubs forest. Okay, covering nearly 70% of mangrove forest. Above this level, so lower tidal zone, then above this zone and above this level, there are supporting forest of Phoenix in association of Exicaria. There are Heritaria forest in the highest portion with thick undergrown Phoenix and Nipa palms. Here the chapter ends and I have to see the timing, and now is 9:17. Okay, so challenge completed. Thank you for attending this session. Let's meet in next class.